Got my flour, got my water warming up. Going to make bread. Let's get this thing started. It is 7 in the morning. I plan on having it done before the football games start this afternoon, but we'll see. I'm going to start out with about 250, 300 grams of white at 275. I have more. No matter how I open this flour, it's always going to get on me. So I just do it slow, but hopefully not too much will fly everywhere. So we're trying to get this up to 666. And there we go. I'm actually a gram heavy. All right. Come on, don't tell me 665. It does that sometimes. It makes it, when you're like in between a gram, it will just bounce back and forth. I don't know if that's the scale or that's just the nature of weight. The key is just it's going to be sticky, it's going to be nasty, it's going to feel like it's not doing the right thing. The key is just to stick with it and keep working it. It's going to get stuck all over your fingers, it's going to get stuck all over the bowl. Just keep scraping the bowl, keep pulling it off your fingers when it's too much, but when it starts to get when it starts to get to where it needed to be, it stops clinging to your fingers as much and starts clinging to itself. So you just gotta trust the process and keep moving. All right, I think we're in good shape. It's rough, it's scratchy, it's fine. It's gonna be like that for now. So I have a bowl, grease it up so it won't stick. Let it sit like this on the counter for 30, 45 minutes, however long it takes for me to, have a cup of coffee and get ready for the day. And then we'll get back to this. Just to make sure my audio is okay, I restarted the recording. It was about 5 minutes. I put salt, 15 grams of salt, and 120 grams of starter. I just realized I turned my mic off because I went and sat down, and I didn't want it to accidentally start recording and me just sitting there watching TV, not saying anything. So, starter is incorporated, or the beginnings of the incorporation of the starter has occurred. So, probably about 5 to 7 minutes of me mixing it. And I always use the timer on the camera that shows me the recording time as my benchmark of where or how long I've been doing something for the most part. we go. Beat it up real good, make sure it's all nice incorporated. So now I'm going to let it sit for about 45 minutes, let it rest completely. Then we'll get on to our next steps. The hard part, the real physical part, is completely over now, thankfully. Ooh, it was really wearing on my arm there, but I think I got it good today, so rest. It's been about 45 minutes, it's stretched out. Still looks scratchy, not a problem. Get my hands wet. I do, if I let this stuff sit on my hands, the wheat or the flour, if it's not like mixed dough or something like that, it does aggravate my skin, which is not fun because it itches really bad. So I've been washing my hands obsessively. I need to wash my hands anyway when I'm doing this. I'm just going to do this stretch the first time to really make sure that we've got some smoothing going on. Actually, let me wet my hands again. Let's do the ball and make sure. See how much smoother it looks? That's good. It's in the right direction at least. Okay, so it's a rough ball, but it's a ball. So that's the first stretch done. I'm gonna let it rest for about 35, 40 minutes, and then we'll go on to our next fold. This is the first of 3. It's getting better looking. It's a little bit, it's rested. No bubbles yet, but I'll get my hands in here. It's coming along, it's looking better. Give it another 35, 40 minutes of rest, and we'll do our last fold. Maybe we might need another fold, we'll see. Let's see if I can do the last fold. It's looking better. It's got some bubbles in it. Nice and smooth now, it feels good. It's very cold to the touch, which is not a problem, but well, I think the oven's not hot anymore. It's still warm. I was baking something. I was making breakfast, so the oven's warm. It's not a problem. Just let it sit like that for another 45 minutes or so, and get on to the first pre-fold and then shaping. All right. So it looks okay. It has a good odor to it. It's not what's the word I'm looking for? It's got bubbles in it. It's relaxed. Right. Okay. Is that coming down? It's finally coming down. All right. So what I want to do is take this and let it slide out of the bowl on its own. All right. The one thing I need to mention is that this, I make sure that the surface that I'm using is completely clean, because you don't want any weird things showing up in your bread. All right. So, I'm going to give this like 10 minutes of rest, and then we'll go on to our proper shaping. This is the pre-shape, just to get it down and get into a ball and get it real tight, trying to build that tension up, so that way when we put it in our Bannaton, it kind of grows, but it's tight, and then when we put it in the oven, all that pressure will be released up, and it'll be nice and big and fluffy. So 10 minutes. All right. So it's almost been 10 minutes. I notice that when I do this, it does adds that little bit more tension that it needs, and that tension equals rise. So the last two loaves have been puffier and more like how I imagine them in my head. And then I see people that do this professionally and everything, and they have like their bread, and it doesn't. I'm always thinking it needs to be like almost double, but I mean, it really just needs a little bit more. And I'm just blah, blah, blahing to wait for that last minute to finish. So I'm gonna uncover this and then get under our shaping. The shaping is probably, it's crucial, it's fun, and it's very crucial. And again, to make that tension. If we can get that tension in there, we're in good shape. So let's get recording here. Let's get recording here, as I say on camera, the iPad. Again, TikTok. All right. So lay it out. We're gonna roll it. We're gonna flatten it out. It's got a lot of, got some stretch in it. So there we go. Looks good. I can feel the tension in it. It's nice. So always remember, take a video of it for TikTok. This is pre-proof. It's cold to the touch though. That's the problem. So this will probably going to take a picture for TikTok. This is probably going to take the full 2 hours. I have my oven up. So its oven sits right around 95-100 degrees. Go to put it in here, and it is 12:13. So the goal is to try to get this done before the football games start, which start at 3. I think it'll be right on time. So the first, like, baking is like the ultimate thing, but getting it to the bake, proofing, is usually the biggest hurdle. So like I said, it feels not cold to the touch, but it feels like room temperature. Room temperature is around 70. It's pretty cold outside. It's about 70 inside the house. The marble's always cold, so that adds to it a bit. So putting it in a warm oven like that for 2 hours, that should proof, and it should be okay. So we'll see in a couple hours. Okay, here it's proofed. Everything looks okay. It feels okay. So I'm gonna give it make sure to take a picture and then put it in the fridge and pick it up in the morning. So let's get moving here. Looks good. Feels right. Put this down, get my gloves, everything ready. Pan is heated in the oven. Get my blade out here. Alrighty. Looks good, it feels good. I put 3 slits in it this time. I did the long slit and did little slits. I think this will be good. I want it to kind of rise and have those like partitions like that, but we'll see. Now, I get my pan out and get moving here. Alright, pan is covered. I'm going to start a timer for 23 minutes. It's a bit bigger. The 20 minutes is for like 500 grams. This is 666, so it's going to be a bit more. So I give it 23 minutes covered. I want to get a good amount of time for it to rise. So timer's going, and we'll check it out in a little bit. At 23, 24 minutes, I took the top off. It looks pretty nice. It's risen a decent amount. So getting some color on it, probably got about just under a minute to put some more color on. I do lower the heat down, considered like about 15, 20 degrees. It doesn't need that much heat to brown. I don't want to get it too crusty, but I do want to put a nice color on it. And then I did it for 12 minutes because at this point I think we're good. I just want to put enough color on it to make it look nice and add that little bit of flavor, but I don't want to have like overly crunchy pieces, you know. So let's go ahead and get it out. looks good. It rose a nice amount, so that's good. It's a little bit uneven, but what's new? Turn this off. This thing is smelling really good. Put this back. I always like to put it back there so I don't touch it by accident. It's a bit uneven. You kind of bust it out, like see how it's kind of like right there. Kind of busted out there for whatever reason. The slits look okay. See, the bottom's always going to have like this darkness to it, which isn't that big of a deal. You can always just cut it off if you don't like the taste of it. It does get a little bitter if it goes too far. That's why don't want to put too much color on it, because I don't want to get it too much. Because I do end up toasting it after the fact anyway. So I think it looks pretty good. It's like 7 in the morning, so by lunchtime my plan is to make a sandwich with this and have lunch. So cool, let it rest, and I think it came out pretty good. So it's been like a few hours now, and I'm hungry, so I'm gonna make a nice quick grilled cheese. I got a decent dinner that I'm gonna make later, so I just needed like something to tide me over till the afternoon or the evening. So let's go ahead and take a look at the crumb on this thing. Very nice crumb. Holds together nice. It feels really good. I haven't done this in a while. Lately. I've been waiting till the next day, simply because I make it in the evening, and or not in the evening. I make it on the weekend, and I usually have other stuff that I'm eating, so the bread just comes around when I'm hungry. So today is a Monday. So I have, this is the bottom still gets tough, and that's because I didn't let it go all the way, but yeah, I think the crumb's really nice. So this recipe, I think, is my recipe, meaning I finally dialed it in enough. So let's put that at 4. All right, so there we go. This is the 81st loaf I've made in the last, coming up on 2 years. It'll be 2 years in April. But yeah, I think I'm finally getting the hang of it.